Crafty Dolls, welcome or welcome back, and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. If you're new here, my name is Amber Michawn, and I love all things DIY crafting on a budget, but with a high-end look. If you're not new, hey doll, hey. So in today's video, I have a round of Christmas DIYs. Yay! It is, I want to say my first round, but I did Christmas in July, but it is my first round of the Christmas season. I know, I have been rather late on getting videos out and not really consistent. I have just had a hectic year, you guys. I have been traveling so much for work. Adding a third kid into the mix has just thrown everything off kilter. It's just kind of crazy in my household. With my dad's passing, it just kind of threw everything off balance for me. I have just been trying to figure it all out, trying to figure out where I can fit everything in. So I do what I can. I really appreciate everyone sending words of encouragement, kindness, and love, because I am really trying to get back into the groove of things. I don't know what that groove is going to be moving forward into 2025. We will see. I'm still working on getting a video out at least once a week. I have some good things planned for 2025. We always look for the new year to get some new stuff going on, so just stay tuned for that, and I'm really hoping that I can stick to it and just really keep my grind and my hustle going. So yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna do that. But also, this video is part of a collaboration with some of my YouTube friends here. It is hosted by Liana DIY. We also have a new guest host every month. So I will have the playlist in the description box below, as well as pinned to my comments. Make sure after you watch my video, you go over, head to that playlist. Tell everybody I said hi, because you will have tons of inspiration. I know that you will love it. And then, yeah, let them know I said hi. If you love what you see in this video, I would appreciate if you gave me a big thumbs up. And subscribe, is hit the bell, and you'll be notified every time that I upload. All right, enough of my jibber jabber. Let's get to the video. For my first DIY, I have this sign that I got from the Goodwill. It was only a few dollars. It's really cute, but I wanted to give it a complete makeover. I'm going to use my ink colored chalk paint, and I am going to use some painter's tape, and I'm going to tape off the frame of this sign. I thought it was really cute. I did not want to mess with the natural wood color, so that's why I decided to go ahead and tape it off. Now, you guys, I have not been crafting or painting in quite some time. It's just been kind of hectic in my household. I have been traveling nonstop for work literally every other week. It's been quite crazy, and then 3 kids. So when I'm at home, I just like to soak in all the time with my kids and my husband. So all of my paint has a little bit dried out, and I've been moving to my she shed, and then it's just been hot and cold. The temperature has been up and down. So my paint is just a little bit weird. So my chalk paint is a little bit chunky. So you can see here, I'm a little bit struggling with getting my paint to kind of spread, but I add a little bit of water and I get it on there, but it's still a little weird. But you know, in the end, I figure it out. I do 2 paint coats of this ink colored chalk paint, and it works out. I let it dry for a little bit, and yeah, that's it. I have a couple other things on the table that I was going to use, but I decided to go in a different direction with this DIY. So this is what it looks like after I finished painting it. And then I went to my Cricut Explore 3 and cut out the phrase, "The smell of Christmas makes me happy," or makes me smile. And I love it because it makes me happy. And because my year has been so hectic and up and down, Christmas time just makes me happy. So anyways, I did a stencil. So I used stencil vinyl. So yeah, it says "The smell of Christmas makes me merry," not smile or happy, makes me merry. So then I just weeded everything out. I used my sorry, words are hard. I used my transfer tape to transfer it over to the front of my sign. It took me a little while to do this because I wanted to make sure I didn't get any tears, because with stencil vinyl, I always make sure I don't get any bleeding, because sometimes I do. So you just want to make sure you take your time to make sure everything lays out correctly. Then for my chalk paint colors, I have fern, crimson, and white. And I'm just going to use these dabbers. I got these off of Amazon. They're like, they're called cotton swabs. And I use them. I've had these for a couple of years, and it's like a pack of like 250, and I have not run out yet. So yeah, just use these, and I just dabbed it around. I did 2 coats on top of each other. I worked quickly but carefully with this. So I peeled up my stencil as it was drying, but it was still wet. So you just do any kind of color combination that you want with this. I kind of played around in Design Space, and I created this image on my own. If I remember, it will be in a project in Design Space. So if you follow me on Design Space on Cricut, it will be in a project there, but I will have the link to my Cricut Design Space in my description box for you. So yeah, but I did all of the dabbing and then let it dry just a bit, and then I'm going to peel it up. And then once everything is up, this is what it looks like. It's super adorable. I really love it. And I love all these Christmas colors. The traditional colors give me all the feels, and I just think it's really pretty. Let me know what you think. For this next DIY, you may have seen it in the first one. I have this canvas sign. I was going to use it with the other sign and like make a double sign, but I decided against that. And all I'm going to do is just remove the canvas piece, picture from the actual frame of this. And all I did was just cut it out with my box cutting tool. And then I'm going to use my crimson colored chalk paint. It's really deep red color. It's really, really pretty. And I painted this all around. I gave it 2 coats of this red color and just used a generous amount of that paint color. After that was complete, then I took this scrapbooking paper from Hobby Lobby. It has a song on it. I can't remember the song, but it's really pretty, and it just really pops on the background of this red frame because the words and the music notes are red, but the paper is still white as well. I just thought it would be really pretty, and because it's a letter page size, it fit perfectly onto the width of the frame. So I just put it down with some hot glue. I didn't really put anything on the back side of it. And then to get it down to size, I just used some scissors to cut it down to size. And that was pretty much it for that. To give it a little bit more jazziness and Christmassy look, I used this glittery white snowflake from the Dollar Tree. Just put a bead of hot glue onto the top of that frame, and then just hot glued the piece of that string that I was on and glued it to the top, and then it just hangs. Super cute, super easy, literally like 3 steps, and you're done and have a cute piece of table decor. For my next Christmas sign, I am taking this fall or this Halloween sign that I got from Dollar General. It's $3, but it was actually on sale. I got it like 2 years ago. I think it was like 25 cents when I got it. And I'm using my crimson and my fern colored chalk paints from Waverly. Again, these are all traditional Christmas colors I am using for these Christmas signs. And for this sign, I used 3 coats of paint. I did the sign using my fern colored chalk paint. Again, 3 coats, and then I did the arrow using that crimson color. I let each coat dry completely in between, because if you don't, with chalk paint, really with any kind of paint, if you don't let it dry in between before you put your other coat on there, it will come up and it will run and it will look, it'll like pull up and it will look clunky and it just won't look right. So I just carefully made sure that it was all dry and then carefully didn't get the red on the green or the green on the red. Again, 3 coats and it looked perfect. You can still see a little bit of the wording underneath, but not too bad. You can still see the skull a little bit, but I went to my Cricut Explorer 3 and I cut out, I typed in, I think, Christmas trees or farm fresh Christmas trees, and I cut out, I think, like the third image or something like that. And I just kind of played around with where I wanted to place everything. So farm fresh, I put at the top, it's in some black vinyl, and then pine, spruce, and fir, I put on the red arrow, and then Christmas trees, the wording I put towards the bottom, and then I had some white Christmas trees that I put underneath that. And that's it for this DIY. I thought it turned out really cute, super easy transformation from a fall or Halloween sign. For my next sign or like display, this is probably one of my favorite ones, like the top 2 in this video. I took this tree like sign I've had this for years. I don't even know where I got it from. But anyways, I have these like cardboard pieces. You know how when you buy a dresser or something like you put together from like IKEA or Walmart and you have the backings that you have to nail into the back? That is what these are. And so what I did is I traced out the top 3 portions of this tree, and I cut those to size. So that is what I'm using. So literally you can make DIYs out of anything that you have, whether it be an Amazon box that you got a package in, or like the backings of a dresser that you put together from IKEA or Walmart or Target. You can use them all, because I never used these things. I think this came from Phoebe's dresser drawer that I put together. I don't use the back part of them because I find it not wasteful, but I just never use them. It just doesn't, I put all my dressers up against the wall, so it just doesn't, I don't need them. It doesn't come in handy for me, but they come in handy when I need to do DIY. So again, I traced them out and I used a good pair of scissors because this is pretty good cardboard. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty thick. But yeah, so I just cut those down to size and I make sure that they all look good. And I did 6 pieces of these, or 5 pieces of these. Once that was all done, I decided to add some scrapbooking paper to these. I have a variety of scrapbooking paper that I wanted to use. The first one being this red and black gingham design. And then I have this green and black and white, I guess. It's like a plaid kind of look. And then I was able to find some black and white plaid scrapbooking paper. So all I did was trace out each of the trees and then cut those to size. Make sure you set aside the right tree with the right paper, because some of them, they are sized and cut differently. So don't make that mistake. Then you're going to use some Mod Podge. I use some wood glue because, again, I haven't been crafting in quite some time, so my Mod Podge is completely dried out. So I used some wood glue and then mixed it with some water, and then just completely, I used a generous amount and mixed it up and just adhered it to the back of that cardboard piece. I used the brown side to place my scrapbooking paper on, so that the back side of the trees were that white. so it had more of a finished look to them. And then I did that on all sides of my scrapbooking papers, and then I used the excess that is on the paintbrush and then just put it on top of the scrapbooking paper so that it had that matte looking finish to it, and it stayed in place. Really, it just stuck on there pretty well. As those are sitting to dry, I'm going to go ahead and take the other two trees and I'm going to paint these. The first one, I'm going to do a heavy dry brushing of some white Waverly chalk paint. And I'm not going to do it stark white. I just do one heavy coat, but still have a little bit of that brown cardboard showing through just a teeny bit. I'm looking for a rustic farmhouse look. The other one, I'm going to use a combination of some chocolate brown, a lighter brown, and some white. So as you can see here, I'm kind of just playing around a little bit with the colors, giving it a little bit of a messy look and not really trying to be too perfect about it, and just going until my eyes are happy. If you've been around for a while, that is one of the phrases. I know you may have missed me saying that, but just keep going until my eyes are satisfied and happy with the look of it. Again, you will see me adding a little bit of white here just to get it to where I am pleased with the look of it. And then I will take that paintbrush that has a little bit of brown on it and go back over my white tree and just dry brush the corners and the edges of that white tree to give that more of that rustic farmhouse look that I want. Then once that's done, I'm going to let that sit to dry, and then I'm going to work on my stand and my dowel rods that these are going to stand on. So I take these these round dowel rods that I got from Walmart a while back. I've had these for years. You stock up on craft supplies that you don't always use. I'm going to use this Dixie Belle, Black Magic gel stain to paint my dowel rods. And then for my stand, this is just a poplar board that I got from the Home Depot. And I'm going to use my antique wax paint from Waverly. I'm just going to do a little bit of a heavy painting on this and then wipe it down with a baby wipe. I just do this over and over again until my eyes are happy, and I just paint all sides except for the bottom. Just keep going until my eyes are pleased with the look of it. And then for my dowel rods, I use a foam brush to just do one paint coat of that. I don't wipe it down at all. I just quickly just paint it over with that foam brush real quick. Once everything is all dried, it is now time for me to start assembling and arranging everything to figure out how I want everything to go. So I know that I want to stagger my trees in a height difference, so I would say, and just trying to figure out how I want the patterns to kind of go. And you'll see that I change around a little bit. And then I realized that I actually need to sand down my paper. Once I have the order that I want my trees in, I realized that my paper it doesn't look good. If you've been around for a while, I love finished projects. And I didn't like that my paper was hanging out over and it was just uneven. So I took my finger sander and started to sand down the 3 trees that had my scrapbooking paper. And it was really easy. It took probably about 5 minutes for me just to quickly sand down the edges and the corners of my trees, and just to make it look a little bit more clean and more crisp and really much better, really. Now, once that is completely done, now it's time for me to get my height difference. And the way I do that is I see that my dowel rods are going to line up. The ones in the end, the top of my tree is going to line up at the top with the dowel rod. The second trees from the outside are going to line up in the middle, and then the white one in the very middle is going to line up closer to the bottom. So you see, this is the height difference that they're going to be in, and I'm just going to use a generous amount of hot glue. The first one I didn't use that much hot glue, but I'll go back and fix that. But you can see here, this is the height difference that I used for each of these. And just use a good amount of hot glue so that way your dowel rods will stay in place. Maybe even go over it a little bit more with it. If you feel like you need to put a piece of jute cord on the back of them, you can do that. I've had this together and up for probably a little over a week, and it's still up. It hasn't fallen or anything, so I'm still in pretty good shape. So you can see here, I went back to put more hot glue onto that other dowel rod. So after that was nice and set up, and I felt like it was good for me to start setting everything up, I'm going to use a generous amount of hot glue to place these dowel rods into place. I tried a few different, I guess you would say, methods on getting these to stand in a place. First, I tried to just get it to stand by itself with the hot glue. Then I tried some pieces of Jenga blocks. Then I tried a little pieces of small pieces of wood. Then I tried to just see if I need to start hiding it with some greenery. I tried several different ways to see what worked best for me to get the desired look that I wanted. In the end, I think the best option is to put a generous amount of hot glue in place and then put the dowel rod and 2 small pieces of scrap like wood, like maybe like those mini blocks that you can get from the Dollar Tree, in place together at the same time. I think that might be the best option to get them to stay in place at the same time, and then it won't like tip over, it won't be lopsided, and it'll stay right in place, and you won't have to take it off and, you know, take off the hot glue and rearrange it or anything like that. But anyways, after I had all of 5 of them set up in place and they were good to go, then I was able to place the rest of my greenery and everything like that. Just put whatever you want on there, however you want, you know, berries, frosted greenery, whatever you want, you know, it's all up to you, your preference. This is what mine looks like. I think it came out so good, so pretty. I love all of these DIYs. I love how all of them turned out, and I hope you do too. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Crafty Dolls, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Again, don't forget to check out that playlist, and let me know in the comments down below which one happened to be your favorite, and if you plan on doing any of these DIYs. How far along are you in your Christmas decor DIY crafting, and do you have your Christmas trees up yet? I plan on putting my Christmas trees up a little bit early this year. Need some happiness in my life right now. A lot going on. But anyways, again, if you love what you see, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. All right, dolls, be blessed, stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.